Japan breaks men. And countries and organizations break people in different ways. A company that I once worked for broke a part of me. The business that I started and ran myself also broke a part of me, so I did that to myself in a way. And so I'm not targeting Japan in any one way for this. I'm just simply, I want to point out how this country does break men, and possibly women as well, in a less obvious way. So now that I've gotten my preamble out of the way, where I'm saying that we are, as humans, broken in various capacities across cultures, and businesses, and organizations, and generations. Let me just go ahead and point out real quick what I mean about Japan breaks men. There are one thing that's different is that you see a lot more people in this packed-in country. That if you drive a quarter of a mile across the downtown area, you're going to see a lot more people than you would in my own hometown of Santa Barbara. But the number of men that I see, old men, retired men that I see that are shambling, it's not quite the right word. They're trying to lift their bodies and move through as they walk along the street. They're broken. They're physically it's like they are like tools of the society that have been squeezed, and their vigor and their youth have been squeezed out of them, as in a way that's different than what I remember seeing in my own country. Where in my own country it would seem sometimes that people would be used up in terms of their years and their vigor, in terms of their willingness to have the young man's ambition to go out and work. But here in Japan, old men seem to be physically squeezed dry. Until all that's left is a shell that shuffles along the street, literally in appearing to be a broken man. Legs don't move right anymore. They're hunched over. The arms swing in a strange way. They look around with a gaze that seems hollow and unable to apprehend the world the way that a young man can. And I see this so often. These broken men that were used up for a lifetime with their organizations and companies, and then basically at the end of their careers, deposited it into their little living rooms in their homes to finish off. And if it sounds like a criticism, it is. But I raise this same criticism to my own country and to other countries as well, where we use humans as a commodity, as a resource. That's a better word, as a resource to achieve some end, and then dispose of them in a way. And am I being too broad and generalizing? Yes, I certainly am. Am I being critical? Yes, I guess I am. Am I guilty of this myself? Yes, I am. I support it in some ways in my own life, the way that I live, the way that I choose. Am I broken? Yes, I am broken. I have been broken in bits by the companies I've worked for. I've also been broken by my own business. Did it to myself in that capacity. So I'm not better or innocent of this I dare say a crime that is committed upon the souls of men and women as well. Although here in Japan it's hard to see it as much in women. Women seem to suffer the use of their society in a different manner that doesn't leave them as twisted and broken in the same way that old men are so often. Now, take that as you will. I probably deserve some criticism for shining such a negative light on something that is certainly not as extreme as I make it out to be. But there you go, just some thoughts to have. But sorry about the poop on the window. I gotta clean it. You've been looking at poop on the window as I head into the mountains. I'm going to leech hunting. I'm going looking for the giant carnivorous leech, which this this small rain might be bringing out up there in those high mountains you can see in the distance. Bye-bye, everybody.